Welcome, my friends, to the My Personal Reality Live podcast. Happy to have you here, and it's such a beautiful pleasure. I am always happy to entertain and to interview special people from around the world. But this is my first blessing having a friend and a compatriot and a brother from Uganda. And I'm very, very happy to have a friend of right from that place here live this morning. I know we're accommodating the time zone difference, so we're having our broadcast a little early today. For those of you that are watching live, let me know where you're watching from. Give me some love, some cares. Please make sure that if you're new to the show, set your notifications to all. Follow, connect, subscribe, so I can see you from wherever you're coming in from, and you can know that I'm always going to be sharing something interesting with you. By all means. And of course, if you're doing the replay, if you're watching this as a recording, give us the hashtag replay and let us know where you're watching from. And by all means, either now or later, feel free to ask any questions relevant to the interview. If you don't know me, my name is Coach Dean Brown, father of 5, high-performance law of attraction and empowerment coach, and affiliate marketer, investor, and a serial businessman. I empower coaches, consultants, creative business owners, C-suite executives who struggle with lack of results in cracking that code. It's all about helping people be more productive, work fewer hours per day and fewer days per week if possible, so that you can reconnect with their passions and live life to the fullest. I specialize, mind you, in high-ticket lead generation and leadership development through working with the law of attraction. I'm a brother to those that know me and a friend to those that don't. A little bit about the podcast show. I do candid interviews with individuals like my friend here, professionals, celebrities, notable figures, which is what Joshua is. He's a very notable figure. Coaches, consultants, therapists, authors, entrepreneurs, marketers, speakers, influencers, and I might even squeeze a politician in there somewhere along the line. All of our guests have achieved their success through wins, losses, challenges, and the lessons they've learned as they go, my friends. And I've discovered that it's not the heights of your achievements, but the depths of your losses that define our character and develop our strengths. My goal is to learn more about our guests, their lives, their ideas, the lessons they've learned, ask them for some advice, some tips, business insights, not just have them share their wisdom with us and therefore the world. The production is sponsored by Dean Brown Marketing Limited. And of course, it's a long-form, casual podcast format. We just want to highlight the insights, the wins, the successes, and the struggles, and the wisdom of our guests. Just got to find those nuggets, draw them out into the open so we can all share them and build our lives and our businesses to the ultimate. Today, my guest is Joshua Kisakye. Kisakye means grace in Swahili, I believe, Joshua. And I'm very, very honored to have you here. Welcome, my brother. How are you today?
I'm fine, my brother. Thank you for hosting me, and I'm glad to be part of this podcast. It has been a pleasure, and I'm glad to have people around the world that come together to bring the message of hope to the people of Africa in Uganda. I'm excited to be on this platform, and I take it as an opportunity to speak to the world about what we do in Uganda, Africa, under the Milele Foundation Uganda as an organization.
Indeed. Yes,
I am 29 years and I do work with an organization that works with women and children in Uganda. So we do empower the women to create lasting changes and impact in their lives from different communities. Our mission is changing lives, reaching out to communities, and impacting them for the love of Christ. So it's amazing to be part of this podcast, and I'm glad, my brother.
And I'm so honored to have you here because you and I have been communicating over Messenger for quite some time. You've sent me
Oh
lots of
yes.
pictures. Yeah, you've sent me all kinds of information. And the more I watched, the more I learned, the more I saw, I just realized that wait a second, this young man is a true hero. He's really changing the world in his local community. He's helping the ladies start their own businesses where they're building, making clothes by hand, accessories, handbags, this sort of thing. Teaching them in a school, helping them with an orphanage, hosting a safari. So, brother, just share with us some of the stuff that happened to you in life. I know Africa, in most cases, is a tough place to grow up, and many people get to their 20s and give up rather than build up. And it's one of those where I've had lots of people connect with me asking for money. And that's something you've never done with me, which is one of the reasons I honor you so deeply, because you don't ask for help. And you're more of the kind of guy that just shows what you're doing and inspires people like me to say, you know what, this guy needs some help. And that's where we are today. So, my friend, just share some information about how you were raised, your mom, your dad, if you don't mind, and the community where you live and what you're doing. I know you shared that at the beginning, but give us a bit more.
Thank you, my brother. Well, I'm glad that I'm part of the people that are creating an impact in my community. That's Uganda communities. Growing up as a child, I grew up with a bigger family of 13
Wow.
children. We have 10 boys and 3 girls.
Wow.
And in my family, I'm the second last born. And so, growing up in a bigger family, it is really something that wasn't easy because my dad um, was a driver, and then my mom was a housewife. And so, growing up wasn't really an easy thing as a child. At one point, I can not forget one of my I think one of my friends that was a friend actually to my sister. The day he bought for me a pair of shoe, a new pair of shoe, it was a miracle in my life because I felt like, you know what, at school I used to have old shoes, and it was that one day that I got a pair of shoe. I don't know, it really meant a lot to my life as a growing up child. Two, growing up as a child, we had to have one meal a day at times to survive. When it came to school fees, it is something that was really hard that others could go to school and wait for others to go to the next class. Then another sister or a brother goes to school. Along the way, realizing that life was not really easy, I I used to sing in church as a child.
Nice.
And so when I had a conference that was attended at church, and through singing, and I used to lead praising in my church. And so there was a camp that I attended, and one person identified me and fell in love with me. So that couple asked me more of what I do, where I stay, where my parents. I don't know, they fell in love with me. And so they chose to take up my education and sponsor me. And then that changed my story as a young child. I got school fees. I was able to do my nursing course, and I finished my nursing course. But then after my education, that was around 3 years back, I was thinking of something I can do that can bring hope to other children and women in Uganda. Now, when I thought of my salary, because I remember I was trying to apply a few jobs here and there as a medical nurse, but I realized that if I get a salary, how much can it go beyond me? How much can it support other people like me? How much can it go beyond my family? And that was the birth of Milele Foundation Uganda.
Beautiful.
Now, I, s- I came up with a platform and I sat thinking much more of bringing the world together and giving a platform to different women in Uganda and children have an opportunity of going to school, having a meal, and having a better life. Now, many people in Uganda have been looking so much of, the trend is changing.
Good.
Whereby when we were growing up years back, it was something easy to have a sponsor, go to school, and then be able to have a life. But I thought that if, because growing up as a child, my mom was a housewife, so she had nothing to do that was keeping us running. So we ended up spending days and hours in the garden to survive. But then I was like, how much more can you impact a woman to have a skill, start a business, start producing products, selling them, and having an exchange of a service in terms of currency? So, and that when we're doing different programs under the organization, I had to think further
Hmm.
on how much more we can impact a woman
Yes.
into a social enterprise that can help them to solve the solution of poverty in Uganda.
Hmm. Yes.
Because I have learned that it's very nice of, the hardest thing is today you can give somebody fish, then tomorrow fish, then what happens when you can no longer deliver the fish
Or
to this
fish.
family or to this mother?
That's
Well,
right.
like, let's teach our women in Uganda on how they can fish than being fed each and every day.
Beautiful
In
truth.
the long run, we are creating a social enterprise whereby they're finding a solution to the poverty, and then instead of them coming to the organization looking for school fees for their children, they can rather produce products, selling them, then they can be in position to raise money to feed their families, to take their kids to school, and have a better standard of living. Now that led to the birth of the Milele School of Community, whereby we are identifying women from our communities in Uganda, teaching them skills on how they can make different things. And then we as an organization, we are trying to find entrepreneurs like Coach Brown that can help in connecting a market for the products that are produced in Uganda so that they can be able to sell them off, then get the funds, and then we are able to support their families out of their skills. And so we are trying to see different ways as we are growing up as an organization. And so we are equipping them with skills, they're teaching them how to start their businesses, and then we can be able, in position of supporting them, to start their own work, whereby they can be able to learn. Actually, in our school of community, we don't teach them only skilling. We go further, teach them about leadership. We mentor them when it comes to financial literacy, and we mentor them when it comes to marital statuses, the marital life. How do they live with their families, with their husbands, children upbringing?
Yes.
So we also go further, teach them about how they can boost their businesses. So we want them to come up into the community because we want them to build the lasting changes themselves into the communities.
Yep.
So we want to build a group of women into the community and then finding solutions to their own problems and then fighting poverty into the communities of Uganda.
Beautiful.
And so
Beautiful.
that has helped us to streamline the massive poverty that is into Uganda. Because we realize that 41% of Ugandans are living at a poverty rate whereby they live less than $1.90 a day.
Wow. Wow.
Something that, and moreover, that's a family sustaining on $1.90 a day. And then it's not, we have had testimonies from our women. Some of them have never had this platform. Some of them have never had such an opportunity to add a skill of value to their lives. So here we come, we tell them, you know what? You can be part of the change that you want in your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow.
Because realize that very many people don't want to be part of the change they want in their lives.
That's right.
So we're telling them, you know what? If you want to end poverty into your family, could you be part of the process of ending the poverty into your family, poverty into your community? Because when you come to Milele Foundation Uganda and you sponsor a child, what happens with the next child?
Mm.
What happens to the third child? Are they all going to be sponsored under our organization? No. How much more can you do if you learn to make a bag that we can create a platform for your bag to be sold and a living, and then you are able to sustain or you can be able to grow your business to a position whereby you can be able to feed your children, have them have better clothes, have them go to school by the works of your hands.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So we are trying to change the mindset of the women into our communities.
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
we have been having challenges whereby we have limited resources that
Indeed.
go into our organization because we are growing up. We are growing up. But then we're like, you know what? Can we put this organization together? Because when you produce these products through our workshops, then we can look for market through partners. We can advertise and find volunteers who can be in position of selling up your products, raise funds
Yep.
that can helping you to sustain your family. And so
Beautiful.
it's one thing we are taking a trend into our organization because we realize that very many organizations are really not focusing at training the women,
Yeah.
training the beneficiaries. They look at giving them and giving them. Now, when they close up at some point, or when they, for example, yes, we have had a different hit when COVID came into the country. Very many organizations closed up,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it has affected very many families in Uganda, simply because all the years the beneficiaries have been looking at being fed, have been looking at being given, and to realize that when COVID came in, very many donors lost jobs,
Yes.
businesses closed up, and you realize that very many organizations have closed up in Uganda.
Yes. Yep.
Now, the beneficiaries who have been benefiting from these organizations are really in a big mess because they cannot sustain their families
That's right.
because they didn't get an opportunity of learning something that can keep them running
That's right.
even without the donors.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are changing the trend, and we're like, you know what? Instead of you coming to our organization, can you learn something that we can help you grow, that somebody can offer funding or can support you in exchange of a service. You know,
Beautiful.
not getting free money
That's
to
right.
feed your family, not getting free money to take you to school, but can you have a service that somebody can, in exchange, have to impact your family and
Yep.
impact your communities? That's
Beautiful.
when they're learning to make the bags, they're learning to make the sponges, they're learning to make backpacks, laptop bags, and we're trying to teach them different skills that can add value to them, that they can be able to sustain their own businesses into their communities.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And so we are thinking of different ways we can impact them. And that's why we choose that when you go into your community after our training, we hope that by 2021 we can be in position of running fundraisings, and then we want to give them micro loans whereby they get the money from the organization, start up the businesses from what I've taught them, start up women groups in their communities, teach them also, pass on the skill to other women, to the communities, bring back the money to the organization with zero interest, then that some money can go back to another community. And so you realize that by the end of 2025, we shall have a number of women having businesses in Uganda, sustaining their families, and hence fighting poverty and chasing away the need into the communities.
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. That's awesome. And I really want to honor and congratulate you because you have set a high standard, and you are a very intelligent young man that to understand that you don't give someone a fish, you teach them to fish. That is a very powerful thing to do, and to understand that not only is it important to know that, it's important to teach that, so that we help the women, the families, the people as they move forward. Because what's happening is you are creating a wave of wisdom, a wave of effort, a wave of prosperity with what you're doing. And it's a powerful thing to not be controlled by your poverty, but to be inspired to do something about the poverty in your area. And brother, as I listen to you speak, I just got more and more, because this is our first conversation person to person. We've only been
Yeah.
able to text previously, communicate via text through Messenger. And I actually was incredibly inspired to hear you say microloan, because that is something that I didn't realize you were doing. And I actually had someone ask me if this is a microloan initiative, and I wrongly told them no, it's not, because I was thinking from my community perspective. But I didn't realize that you were aware of microloan initiatives in your community. And that is amazing that you are able to work with that, build that, teach that. Because when we teach people how to do something for themselves, they go out and they teach other people how to do the same thing. Do something for yourself, build a business, have something sustainable, help your children, help your family, set an example. When we set an example like this, it is a super powerful thing that builds and scales and exponentiates and just grows and grows and grows. So, brother, I'm so proud of you for having this awareness to sit back and think, what can I do to help other people help themselves? And it's so wonderful to know that you're giving these people, these moms, these ladies, an opportunity to learn how to create something, to learn how to market it, to learn how to sell it, to learn how to build a business, to learn how to teach other people to do the same thing. My brother, that is so powerful, and it's such an honor. The the law of attraction is something I teach, but the law of attraction is in the Bible. Jesus used the law of attraction like nobody else because he has the ultimate power in our lives. When we give
For
our
sure.
lives over to that understanding, we know exactly what is happening in the world because we have given that. And we here you go. Here's a comment right here by one of our watchers. They're totally impressed with what you're sharing and what you're talking about and what you're doing. And it's
Thank you.
just, and that Connie Stewart is an amazing supporter of, she and I work together powerfully. That's my wife actually. And she's
Oh,
at work right now on break watching us together. And it's a powerful thing to know that we are having an impact. You're now having an impact right across the world. Even though
absolutely.
all you're trying to do is do something in your community, all you're trying to do is help the people close to you, but it's building more and more all the time. You have support from Ken Henderson in down in the States. Now you have me helping you here in Canada. We know that you want to come to Canada to do a tour, to do shows. I'm not exactly sure what you have in mind. We'll get that figured out. We'll get you here. We'll get you building your programs and what you're trying to do. We'll get you into a place, and many places, where you can share your story and have that power build here in Canada and around the world, brother. Because
We appreciate it.
it
I
just
appreciate
blows
it.
my mind. It blows my mind that finally I met someone. I've had lots of people from Africa reach out to me and say, look, my donkey just died. I can't get to work. I need you to pay my rent. And that's the first thing they say to me. And I'm thinking to myself, how can I get you to understand that it's not about the donkey dying and it's not about you going to work? It's about you finding a way to get around that problem and make it so that that problem isn't what stops you. That problem is what inspires you to do more.
Actually, bro, when we speak about that, because we have been doing kind of some research into the communities that we work with as an organization, and I realized that we have done a lot of work when it comes to changing the mindset of the people into the
Yes.
communities.
Yes.
Now, it has been a mindset in Uganda whereby very many people in the communities expect that organizations are there to give us our needs. And so we together as a team, we have been analyzing how much more can we impact your life. And so what we do, we teach them, it's not about the poverty you're going through. The question is, why are you into that kind of state? And so, like, what causes the poverty?
That's right.
What causes your child not go to school? What causes you having 1 meal a day? And so we're like, you know what? We want to find a solution for that together. And so that's why we go further, teaching them different things about life, teaching them about leadership, teaching them about finances. Actually, as an organization, we receive limited resources, but we do sit down and we find a solution. Like, how can we use these resources to impact the lives of people in our communities? And so we go introducing a program that fits into our budget with the limited resources we get, but creating an impact into the community. And that's why we're like, you know what? We when we are launching the School of Community, we were designing a model for
Yes.
different things to be done into the School of Community program. And so, like, you know what? We cannot have a mother financed to run his own business as a person. And so, like, let's get, we have been growing our machines into our workshop one by one. I told them, you know what? If you learn to make this bag, you can add value to your life. One, you have learned to make a bag. Sometime you will use this bag, you will sell this bag and get money from people because they'll buy it happily to support you and support your hustle as a lady into the
Yep.
community. Then when you have this bag to somebody, they can buy it off from you. You can be able to get the resources. Now, when you get the resources, how do you use it into your family? That's why we think about financial literacy.
Yes.
And then you go on thinking about savings and all the things. But then you're like, okay, if you sell these bags or when you sell these products, how many children do you need so that you can be able to take care of them? So thinking about that, also the number of kids you have or you go on producing matter in your life to have your life changed. So it's not about, because if we sponsor a child today, who will sponsor the next child?
That's right.
So we take them further and tell them it's not about you. It's about you changing your mindset and getting involved in things that are creating an impact to your life.
Beautiful.
So it's really amazing that they are adjusting into their communities. And so, like, you know what? We are planning to have the microloans after them, trainings, and back to their communities. And then we are telling you know what? We are not giving you the funds to use for free. We are giving you this money, establish a project, knowing that someone has to impact another fellow woman like you. So use this money, build the business, save the money back, bring it back to impact another one group.
That's right. Beautiful.
Then that one group is impacted, take the money to another group. So in the long run, they're establishing businesses, but same time having their lives impacted and changed. So they will no longer come to the organization for sponsorships.
Yes.
Then they'll be able to take care of their own children with or without a sponsor. And so we're trying to build a long-lasting impact into their communities.
Yep.
And then we want to see that we bring in different people from different world who can dive into our mission, and together we impact the nation of Uganda, Africa, and then having hope restored to the lives of people.
Beautiful. Beautiful,
So
brother.
just step by step in different programs running.
That's all you can do, my brother, step by step. And the beautiful thing about what you're doing is that you're aware and you're teaching that awareness through mindset, through practice, through financial stability, through communicate, having the community build together to work together. And the whole idea is to have hope for the future one day at a time. Yes,
Exactly.
have a vision, but remember what you need to do today to get things done for now. And that's
Exactly.
a powerful thing, brother. And I'm so proud of you. It's such an amazing thing what you're doing in Uganda, in your home, in your community. And you're the 12th of 13 children. And it's a powerful thing to know that you have 12 siblings and that you are in a place where you understand what it takes to have a business, to build a business, to help a community, to help people with hope and mindset, and to actually change the paradigm in your country, in your community, one day at a time. Because that's all we can ever do is change our paradigm one day at a time. So, brother, I'm curious, when you mentioned there's so many questions I have, and we don't have a lot of time because we're up at 35 minutes already. What is the one thing that we can do to help you more than anything else? Can we set up a network for you to sell your product Can we order products and arrange for them to have to be shipped out of country? What is the one thing that would make the biggest difference for what you are doing in your Milele Foundation?
The one big milestone we can work on together is building a platform or a network that we can dive in to connect exchange programs. In that, our women are producing products. So if you have a network of people who can be able to sell them over there to different people, then they can be in position, we can be in position of having the funds to Uganda and then supporting their own businesses from that. And then, because now the problem is having an online network, so we need people who can work with, who can establish an online platform where people can be buying the products online, and then they can be shipped over to Canada, and then we create a program between Uganda and Canada, whereby we can have the products in there, and then we can also have people coming from Canada to Uganda to be part of what we're doing. Because if we can have people coming to volunteering with us with different skills, because yes, we are doing the products, but it's also much more to have more volunteers with more knowledge when it comes to production, because we want to have best quality products from this organization moving through Canada, and we establish a one-stop center whereby you can have different things made from Africa. That's bags, and then craft being sort of and being done by the women from the communities. So building a network between Canada and Uganda is one of the best things that we can work towards to, so that we can have people coming from Canada to impact lives in Uganda, and then we have products from Uganda going to Canada to raise the funds and awarenesses to be able to run the programs down in Uganda.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, would it be helpful if we could arrange for more machinery to be sent
Oh
to?
yes.
Yes. So, what kind of machinery would you need? You need sewing machines.
Oh yes, yeah. Now currently now there are specific sewing machines that we need, and then because there are certain quality of products we want to be delivering in time to come to our friends and partners and well wishers. So we want to have good sewing machines that can produce quality products in market to build a good kind of product that comes out that somebody can buy at a good cost, but worth it, and then lives impacted in Uganda.
Beautiful,
So there's
beautiful.
some good sewing machines and some good quality products. Materials to use.
Fabrics. You need fabrics.
Fiber, fiber, yes.
Yeah. Yes. 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 So that would be something that here in Canada, if I was to arrange for people to provide fabrics and sewing machines and thread
Yes.
and needles and that sort of thing, and to arrange that you have, the equipment that you need to produce the products that you need, is probably the most foundational thing that we can do in Canada to help you.
Oh, we should be grateful to have such kind of work done and that kind of awareness, because we're in Uganda, but we need to tap into a network of people who are really passionate at impacting lives, and having people across the globe helping us to make the awareness is one of the main things that we want to tap into. Because it's not easy for us to, it's very easy for you to reach out people and then discussing to them, doing few presentations about what you're doing in Uganda, and it's the accessibility is easier than us or than me who's in Uganda right now. And so yet we need to tap into the network because it's what we need as an
Yeah,
organization.
beautiful. All right, my brother, good stuff. So I'm gonna work through the links for people to connect with you. Anybody that has an idea or a desire to help you, I'm going to start with this link right here. Go ahead and explain that, Joshua.
Well, if you want to be part of what we're doing in Uganda, Africa, we are welcoming each and everyone. We having your website is milelefoundation.com, or you can visit milelefoundation.org. So on those platforms, you see different programs we are running in Uganda, and then we hope to be running service trips in Uganda with Coach Brown. And so you can be in touch with him if you want to be part of the service trips happening in Uganda next year, 2021. And then you can be able to come to Uganda, experience the African experience, see lives people have how people are moving on with life in Uganda, share knowledge with people. And so we shall, at the end of the day, we in our service trip, they will be taking some few days. So you'll be having time with the community. And then we began a safari company. Yes. We have a safari company, MileleSafarisUganda.com. And so we do offer safari trips. Now the beauty of these safari trips, you travel for a cause. Percentage goes from your safari to support the programs you're running. So when you travel with us, you're either impacting a woman or a child in Uganda. And so the bit about it, you also get to see or involved in what we are doing.
Beautiful.
As a foundation, we don't only support women, we do support children. And so we do renovate schools in Uganda and schools for the poorest. Not so we identify those schools in villages, rural areas, and then renovate them. We put the chairs, water system, plastering buildings, and so the service trips always happen with a cause. So you can run a fundraiser, contact Coach Dean, run a fundraiser on behalf of the foundation. Let's raise the funds together. Then when the team comes to Uganda, then you accomplish your project with us. Same time of an experience of beautiful Uganda. By the way, Uganda, besides the challenges we're having, we have the best wildlife. And Uganda is the pearl of Africa. You know that.
Yep.
Uganda is the pearl of Africa. It is the truth. We have the best wildlife. We have the best national parks. We have the best, oh my God, we have the best rivers, lakes. So you have an experience of the beautiful Uganda. So when you come to Uganda, be part of the project, change lives, same time, have an experience in
Beautiful.
Uganda.
And this
So
last
you
link,
can
I was just
okay.
going to go ahead. Keep going, brother. It's all good.
Yeah, and so if you want to be part of us and you want to connect with us personally, you can go on my Twitter handle on the screen, on my handles at JakeOfficialUG, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Those are the handles that I use. However, if you want to know much of our foundation, you can also contact us on info@MileleFoundation.com, and we shall be right there to connect with you and we impact lives together in Africa. And so don't forget that we can create a better world if we join the hands together.
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. And I've really, really enjoyed our talk. You've taught me a lot. You've given me a lot of inspiration, a lot of hope for what Canada can do for Uganda, because it's a powerful opportunity for us to work together, to link our communities, and to be in a place where we can help each other and us help you, and you give us Canada an awareness that, hey, wait a second, it's not just about Canada, it's about the whole world. And we're going to start by helping the Milele Foundation in Uganda. So very, very happy to be having this conversation with you, my friend. Is there something you want to say before we break off? Because we're at our time now.
Oh, yes. Before you break up, I want to thank you, Coach Dean. In this kind of time, I've learned, actually, there is something I've learned along the way. I've learned to be patient.
Yes. Yes.
And so I want to thank you for giving us an opportunity and thinking about us for all these months, considering working with us is a blessing to us as an organization. And to me personally, I'm glad to have amazing people like you behind my back in bringing hope to people in Africa. And so, as I summarize, Uganda is a beautiful country. And when we come together, we can create hope and we can bring healing to the communities
That's
in
right.
Uganda. And so
Beautiful.
you can sign up for volunteering programs. You can come and be part of actually, you need volunteers to help us administratively. And if you have clothes, shoes, donations, they can help us to impact more lives.
Beautiful.
So anything you can donate, you can reach out to us, you can reach out to Coach Dean, and then we can see how we can join hands together to impact the lives of people.
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. Absolutely powerful conversation today. Thank you so much for making time for me. Thank you so much for saying yes to being alive around the world on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook in my group, my personal profile. And I'm just so honored to have had this conversation with you, my brother, because it's such a beautiful thing to be in a
I'm
place
humbled.
where we can help someone else, my friend. Don't go away. We're going to chat again after I stop the live stream. But I'm going to let all you people out there in the world go and get back to your lives. We've kept you for 45 minutes. So thank you for anybody. And if anybody has any contributions, ideas, suggestions, any connections, any way to build the network and get the clothes, the sewing machines, the fabrics to Joshua Kisakye in Uganda, please, by all means, put some information in the comments. I will be starting a network for that purpose. I've actually already done that. I just haven't published it yet. So I just wanted to get in there and just help everybody. Thank you, Joshua. And thank you, everybody, for showing up today.
Thank you very much.